Hello friends, once again I'm here with a new video regarding communication UGC paper 1, and it is very useful for those students whose exams are still awaited, and because paper 1 is a common paper and it is to be faced by every student of UGC NET exam. So friends, here some MCQs I have outlined here with some brief explanation. So let's start it. First of all, video conferencing can be classified as one of the following types of communication. So here we have different four options. First one is visual one way, audio visual one way, audio visual two way, or visual two way. So here friends, four different options are given. We have to identify which option is correct option. So it's a video conferencing. It is regarding the video conferencing, and it is classified as one of the following types of communication. So what can be the right answer? So the right answer is audio visual two way, because audio and video will be there. Video certainly will be there because it's a video conferencing, but along with video, audio is also needed, and it is between two people. Okay, not B will not be there, and visual one way will not be there, visual two way will not be there, because audio will be included as well. So audio visual two way will be there, so it is the correct one. Then the English word communication is derived from the words communis and communicare, or communist and commune, or communism and communalism, or communion and common sense. So four different options are there, and the word communication is derived from two words given here in the options. So identify those words. So here the right one is A, communis and communicare. These communis and communicare, both the words are used in Latin language, and the communication word is derived from these Latin words, because basically most of the words in English language are from Latin language or from Greek language, most of the from Latin language. So here two words, communis and communicare, both are Latin words, and the word communication is derived from the words communis and communicare. Then Chinese Cultural Revolution leader Mao Zedong used a type of communication to talk to the masses is known as, so here one leader is there who is communicating with the mass, okay, with the people around him, and he used which type of communication. So here we have options: mass line communication, or group communication, or participatory communication, or dialogue communication. So which one is the right one? Obviously the first one is the right one, mass line communication, because mass means people, the group of people. Okay, so the leader is communicating to the masses, okay, to the people. So mass line communication includes such type of communication uh, aspect. Okay, and the leader here is communicating with the mass, with the people. That's why he is using mass line communication. Then conversing with the spirits and ancestors is termed as transpersonal communication, intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, or face-to-face communication. So which one is the right one? Conversing with the spirits and ancestors. So friends, the right one is transpersonal communication, because here we are communicating with ourselves, we are communicating with the spirit or ancestors. Okay, in one way it is believed that we are communicating with spirits and ancestors. So that type of communication is termed as transpersonal communication. Then the type of communication that the teacher has in the classroom is termed as interpersonal mass communication, group communication or face-to-face communication. So here 4 options are there. And the question is the type of communication that the teacher has in the classroom is, so which type of communication is used by the teacher? So what can be the right answer? So the right answer is C, group communication. Because obviously a group is there in the classroom, okay, a group of students, and the leader of that group is a teacher. The teacher is using a communication type which is a group communication is considered as a type of communication in the classroom. A teacher is communicating with a group, okay, and the group is responding to the teacher. So group communication will be there. Face-to-face communication will come when two people are communicating with each other, okay. When the teacher is communicating with the all students, the group communication will come. And when the leader is communicating, mass communication will come. And when two friends or two people are communicating with each other, then interpersonal communication will come there. So here a teacher is communicating with the group of students, so group communication will be the right answer. Then in the process of communication, which one of the following is in the chronological order? So here we have to identify the correct chronological order. Here 4 options are given: communicator, medium, receiver, effect, or message. Or option number B, medium, communicator, message, receiver, or effect. Or option number C, communicator, message, medium, receiver, or effect. Or option number D, message, communicator, medium, receiver, or effect. So friends, which one can be the right answer according to you? The right answer is C, communicator, message, medium, receiver, and effect. So first one will come the communicator, who is going to communicate, the first person who is creating a message, and then after a message will be the second step, and the medium for the message, which medium is used for conveying that message. Then the receiver, who is receiving that particular message communicated by that first person, okay. Then the effect, whatever effect is come on the receiver after receiving that message, after decoding that message. So this will be the right chronological order: first communicator, then message, then medium, then receiver, and at the end effect. Then communication via new media such as computers, teleshopping, internet, and mobile telephony is termed as entertainment, interactive communication, or developmental communication, or communication. So what can be the right answer, friends? Because here the media, computers, teleshopping, internet, and mobile telephony, all are used here in this communication. So it will be interactive communication, because interaction is going on, okay. Entertainment is not there because it is not used for entertainment only. Interaction is going on there because it is a communication, okay. That's why it is interactive communication, when a communication is going on via new media such as computers, teleshopping, internet, and mobile telephony. Then classroom communication can be described as exploration, industrialization, unsignified narration, discourse. So friends, what can be the right answer here? Classroom communication. Certainly there will be discussion. Okay, there will be discussion between among the students, among the teacher and the students. Okay, so discourse will come there. Discourse means discussion, communication with others, okay, on certain thing. So classroom communication can be described as discourse. Then in communication, myths have power but are uncultural, unsignificant, imprecise, or unpreferred. So what can be the right answer, friend? Here, myth in communication. It is regarding myth in communication. So the right answer here is C, imprecise. Imprecise means something which is lacking exactness, which is not exact, or which is war or loose or indefinite, we can say. Okay, that is imprecise. And myth in communication. Myth is used for the expression of abstract in communication. So imprecise will be the right answer here for this particular question. In communication, myths have power but are imprecise. These are not exact. That's why. Then the first multilingual news agency of India was, so here we have to identify one news agency, which was the first news agency which was multilingual, using many languages in its news reporting. Okay, so which can be the right answer? Was it Samachar or API or Hindustan Samachar or Samachar Bharati? So the right answer is Hindustan Samachar, which is known as the first multilingual news agency of India. Then organizational communication can also be equated with intrapersonal communication, interpersonal communication, group communication, or mass communication. So friends, what can be the right answer? Organizational communication can be equated. For example, or the other name of organizational communication we can say. So here the right answer is C, group communication. In organizational communication, there is a group of employees. Okay, they are communicating with each other. They are communicating with the superiors or juniors. Okay, so group communication will be there because other options are not matching with the question. Mass communication is different, intrapersonal and interpersonal both are different. So group communication is the most appropriate answer here. Then means of grapevine communication are formal, informal, critical, or corporate. So friends, means of grapevine communication, what can be the medium or means of grapevine communication here? Is it formal or informal or critical or corporate? So friends, grapevine communication, as we have seen the group of grapes, a bunch of grapes. Okay, so at that time we can see all the grapes are looking like the same. They are in the same position in that bunch. Okay, so when we see a group, in a group, every person is the same. Okay, and they are communicating without any formality, without any system. They are communicating informally. So informal will be the right answer. Informal is the means of grapevine communication. Then communication issues as the international level are addressed by ILO, ITU, UNDP, or UNESCO. So friends, here which particular organization is there which is addressing the communication issues in the world? Okay, so here we have different 4 options. Identify the one. So certainly it will be D, UNESCO, because UNESCO is an organization which is addressing the communication issues, and UNESCO means United Nations Educational Scientific Cultural Organization. Yes, it is its full form, United Nations Educational Scientific Cultural Organization. And this particular organization is addressing the problems of communication at international level. And other organizations are there. ILO is there. So it is International Labour Organization. International Labour Organization, it is its full name. And the second one is ITU. ITU means International Telecommunication Union. International Telecommunication Union, it is its full name. Then UNDP. UNDP, it is it's a program at international level, and it means United Nations Development Program. United Nations Development Program. So friends, these are the full forms I mentioned right now. Then the next question, breakdown in verbal communication is described as, so here we have four options: short circuit, contradiction, unevenness, or entropy. So friends, here we have four options and we have to identify which is the right one. Sorry. Breakdown in verbal communication. When we communicate verbally, sometimes breakdown happens and it is described as entropy, because entropy is uh, a surprising event. Surprising event, sometimes it happens in between the verbal communication. So that's why it is entropy. When we face breakdown in verbal communication, it is described as entropy. Then the telephone model of communication was first developed in the area of technological theory, dispersion theory, minimal effects theory, or information theory. So here the discussion is about telephone model. And what is telephone model of communication? So communicating via telephone. Okay. So it was first developed in the area of information theory. Okay. That's why we call it sometimes ICT, information communication technology. So it is a part of it. Okay, so telephone model of communication, it was first developed in the area of information theory, providing information, getting information, okay, conveying the information. So that's why it was first used, the telephone model of communication. Then in circular communication, the encoder becomes a decoder when there is noise, audience, criticality, or feedback. So what can be the most appropriate, friends? In circular communication, it is going on in circular mode. Okay, encoder means who is constructing a message and he is just sending it via some media, and then he becomes a decoder when there is a feedback. When it is a time to provide a feedback, it is a time to respond. Okay, uh, 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 re-responding, we can say. Okay, when the decoder is decoding the message and he becomes the encoder once again, and he is sending the message, and the first person is receiving the message. So at that time he is just become the uh, sorry, he is providing the feedback at that time. That's why he becomes a decoder when there is a time of feedback. So in circular communication, the encoder becomes a decoder when there is feedback. Then using the central point of the classroom communication as the beginning of a dynamic pattern of ideas is referred to as systematization, problem orientation, idea protocol, or mind mapping. So here four options are given for the question. The question is using the central point of the classroom communication as the beginning of a dynamic pattern of ideas is referred to as whether it is systemization or problem orientation, idea protocol, or mind mapping. So friends, right answer is mind mapping, D. Yes, because mind mapping is a way of linking different concepts, key concepts, using different images, lines, and different links. Okay, that's why it is referred as the dynamic patterns of ideas. Okay, so the using of central point of the classroom communication as the beginning of a dynamic pattern of ideas is referred to as mind mapping. Then aspects of the voice other than the speech are known as physical language, personal language, paralanguage, or delivery language? So friends, which can be the right answer here? The aspects of the voice other than the speech. So it is known as paralanguage because it is a different another language, we can say, the aspects of the voice other than the speech. So it is one aspect of the voice, paralanguage. It is used sometimes in communication. Okay, so it is other than the speech. That's why it is known as paralanguage. Then every type of communication is affected by its reception, transmission, non-regulation, or context. So friends, which can be the right answer here? Here we have to identify that which is affecting the communication. So every type of communication is affected by its context. When there is a context, it is the possibility of affecting the communicational process. Because every type of communication has certain context or reference which is going to affect it in some ways. Then attitudes, actions, and appearances in the context of classroom communication are considered as verbal, non-verbal, impersonal, or irrational. So here friends, we have 4 different options, and the question is attitudes, actions, and appearances in the context of classroom communication are considered as non-verbal communication, because here nothing is verbal. Attitudes, that we are showing it by our behavior, then actions that we are demonstrating, then appearance that we are indicating in our personality. So that is considered as non-verbal communication, and it is in classroom communication. That's why it is non-verbal. Then most often the teacher-student communication is spurious, critical, utilitarian, confrontational. So which can be the right answer, friend, here? Here teacher-student communication is asked. Most often it is like that. So it is utilitarian. Utilitarian means practical, which is very much useful at the time of communication in the classroom. That's why it is known as utilitarian, the teacher-student communication. Then in a classroom, a communicator's trust level is determined by the use of hyperbole, the change of voice level, the use of abstract concepts, or eye contact. So friends, here the trust of communicator, it is regarding that. In a classroom, a communicator's trust level is determined by eye contact, because the trust is always determined by, always decided by the eye contact of the communicator. When he is doing it, when he is he has good eye contact with the listeners, his communication will be good. Okay, in a better way it can goes. Okay, it can go. So eye contact is very necessary, and it determines the trust level of communicator in the classroom. So the teacher needs to establish the eye contact with the students while teaching them, because with the eye contact he can teach better, and he can update the trust level on the part of the students. So friends, eye contact is very important here. Then imagine you are working in an educational institution where people are of equal status. Which method of communication is best suited and normally employed in such a context? So very long question it is. Let's see the options first, then after we repeat the question. Horizontal communication is it, or vertical communication is it, or corporate communication is it, or cross communication is it? So one second question. Imagine you are working in an educational institution where people are of equal status. Which method of communication is best suited and normally employed in such a context? So friends, here the important word is equal status of the people. So at that time, answer number A will be right, horizontal communication, where in such organization, the people are of equal status, and these people are communicating with each other. So at that time, such communication will be known as horizontal communication. And when the superiors are communicating with the juniors, it will be vertical communication. Then what are the barriers to effective communication? So options are moralizing, being judgmental, and comments of consolation, or dialogue, summary, and self-review, or use of simple words, cool reaction, or defensive attitude, or personal statements, eye contact, and simple narration. So which one is the right one, friends, here? Effective communication barrier. Okay, an obstacle we can say for the effective communication. So friends, here the first one, the A, will come the right as the right option. Moralizing, being judgmental, or and comments of consolation, it will going to affect the effective communication, because sometimes it creates obstacle, the moralization. Then being judgmental on regard on anything, okay, deciding anything, being judgmental on any idea, and comments of consolation, so these are going to affect that communication. So that's why it is the barrier. Other things are not the barrier. Dialogue is not a barrier. Okay, simple words use, it is not a barrier. Eye contact is not a barrier. So if any one word is not mentioned there, which is a barrier, then it is wrong option. Okay, so the most appropriate here is option number A. Then the last question, the choice of communication partners is influenced by factors of utility, secrecy, dissonance, or proximity, utility, loneliness, or secrecy, dissonance, deception, or dissimilarity, dissonance, or deviance. So which one is the right option, friends? The choice of communication partners is influenced by factors of, so here we have to identify three factors which are uh, uh, influencing the choice of communication partners. So the answer number B is right, proximity, utility, and loneliness, because these are going to affect the choice of partner in communication process. Proximity is a distance between the two people. Okay, so it will going to affect, it will going to influence. Then utility, what is the use of that communication, it will going to affect. Then loneliness, whether he is lonely alone, so it will going to affect. So these factors are there which are going to influence the choice of communication partners. So friends, these were the very important questions mentioned in this particular video. I tried to explain many of them. So friends, many more videos are there on my YouTube channel. You can subscribe to my channel for many such videos regarding paper 1 and paper 2 English literature. For paper 1, I am uploading the videos right now, because English literature's exam is over and the paper 1 is common paper, and other subjects exams are still awaited. Students are going to attend the exams, so it will be very well helpful to them. Other topics I am going to include as well in this paper 1. So please subscribe to my channel and like my video if you really like it. And if you able to understand it, please like it and share it as well with your friends. And these are the social media platforms I'm on it, and you can subscribe to my channel on YouTube. Then you can follow me on Facebook. There is one group I am owner of, and in that particular group I am continuously uploading many things regarding paper 1 and paper 2, and Insta is there, and WhatsApp I am answering on WhatsApp about your queries and confusion, and also on Twitter. So friends, you can follow me on these online social media platforms, and wait for the next videos on different topics of paper 1. For example, research is there, then ICT is there, then higher education, very important part of paper 1, higher education, university education. Okay, so these are the major ideas I'm going to share with you through my videos, and these videos are totally free for you. There is no uh, no, I do not want any kind of fees or charge for these videos, or my for my study materials. You can follow me on my blog. I have a blog named Rajnikant Dodia blogspot.com. You can follow me on my blog, and you can have many files of studying materials on my blog. You can download it for your purpose. So friends, that's all for today. See you next time, and thank you very much.